Fanboy Modeling School.
Wish there was a fade out button. Welcome to Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fan Mantis, now in HD. I am here with my partner in crime,
Steve. Real name, no gimmicks, also in HD. What's going on?
I don't know. I was looking very orange for a minute with that light on me, so I just had to turn it off. Other than that, I'm trying to stay alive, man. My sodium content is off the roof. I've got people barking at me from every job, left and right. I got 7 different managers who are all nagging me about the same thing. What else can we talk about? Oh, and Superman was just okay.
Listen, Orange Man bad. That's all you need to know to get by in this world. Orange Man bad.
We're definitely going to talk about that because I think you brought a Orange Man bad story to us, didn't you?
I did, man. But before we get into all the shenanigans, make sure you check out Fanboy Modeling School over on RizRadio.com. Your home for independent radio with the music you love. Music for your next breakup, curated by yours truly, the Fat Mantis.
And of course, my man Steve. What are you talking about? You're doing all the wonderful things for our hip hop division.
Listen, man, as long as these yes, I am a diversity hire. And I'm not doing that great at it.
Oh man, never gets old. The old racial comedy. So do you have any honorable mentions for us?
Actually, I do, man. I just sent something in Discord, which is hilarious. Can't verify if it's a fact or not, and it's from Film Buzzer. But apparently, the number of people watching Man of Steel increased by 218% after Superman released over on HBO Max.
Yo, I did it, man. I'm one of those guys. So I watching Superman made me watch the action sequences for Man of Steel on YouTube. And It wasn't enough, so it made me go rewatch it.
And what did you? What was your conclusion after watching?
There is stuff that I love about Man of Steel, and there is stuff that I love about the new one. And the new one does not in any way replace Man of Steel. As a matter of fact,
no.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know what I suspect?
What?
I suspect that it is possible. No. I guess I'd have to do my research a little bit more, but it does seem like the new Superman movie is a sequel. It was probably written as a sequel to what? I don't know. Is it a sequel to Man of Steel? Is it like the real one? It's almost like he's ignoring Batman v Superman. He's ignoring Justice League, and he's just like, let me just write a sequel to Man of Steel. Cast other people in it so it feels like an original movie. Right? Because like
that's a good take. That's a good take. No, I'm playing it off in my head because I have a point. Well, hell, we might as well get right to the main topic of this. I got a point that I want to make, man. So I agree with that. I can see how that's possible, especially given the post-credit scene for one of the greatest movies that's underappreciated, Black Adam. The Superman that showed up there looks very, very James Gunn-esque in retrospect now looking at this Superman, and that could have been a perfect sequel to that movie. I got a gripe, my brother. I got a gripe, and I've been telling it to anyone that will listen as gripes go. And my gripe is that Black Adam is nowhere near lower quality than the James Gunn movie we just watched the other day. In my mind, they are in the same caliber. I am struggling to understand how this movie is more genius than that one, right? And I have not heard anyone articulate a point that makes any sense to me other than it's a Rock movie. I'm like, yeah, but did you watch Black Adam? It was actually a really good movie. In fact, I think quality-wise, humor-wise, temperament, and tone, this movie fits into James Gunn's universe. And my gripe is, had the Rock, if Black Adam had sold like gangbusters, and remember when we saw it, the audience rating was extremely high. If that movie had done well, would we be seeing the Rock verse? Of course. Could they have parlayed Hawkman from that movie, who was absolutely amazing, into this universe? Yes.
Right.
Could they have put Mr. Terrific in Black Adam? Yes. These two things would have worked great with each other. I just don't understand it.
So the thing about it is that for some reason we went, comic book fans and Star Wars fans and all nerddoms, we went from being fat ass incels who live in our mother's basements to hipsters with advanced degrees in filmmaking, right? And so the first time we saw this ever happen was with The Last Jedi. Do you remember when The Last Jedi came out? What the hell just happened? Okay, so Steve went away. He's too good for us. I was cooking too. I was cooking. Maybe he'll come back. Is there any reason to cook without him? I don't know. Oh man. Steven, it's really weird when somebody gets thrown off this thing. They don't just wink out. Their screen slowly shrinks, like they're being teleported away from you, like almost if you were quick enough you could grab them and hang on to them, prevent them from going into the portal. It's like weird to watch him get sucked into that black hole. I assume he's coming back around. So I assume I'm still wait a minute, am I with the problem? No, I don't.
I'm back.
What are you trying to pull?
I'm so sorry, man. It's almost like clockwork. I don't understand why I just don't prepared for me to ask you a vital question and to get complete silence. Technical difficulty, man.
Yeah, I was just explaining that, like when someone gets kicked off of this thing, they don't vanish. What it is the app does this thing where it shrinks, like it really quickly, like your Ant-Man or something, shrinks your panel into nothing. So it's like you're teleporting. What you're going into a black hole.
Right. It
was very traumatic.
I'm sorry, man. I missed everything after my diatribe about why Black Adam isn't in there. What were you saying?
So, here's what it is. So long story short, I was taking the long way out, but let's do the short way. So everyone's a damn hipster. Everyone's a movie critic. Everyone has a degree in being an asshole. And that's what our fan base has become, right? So here's the thing. Me and you like The Rock. Me and you like Riddick. Me and you like this kind of thing. But these hipsters think they think he's a mainstream tool.
Okay.
They're like, oh, it's the guy from Fast and Furious. F that guy. And they really like to hate on him, like these hipsters, right?
Right.
And so he wasn't hip enough to run a movie studio or a superhero movie studio. However, you notice, here's what I'm saying. The world isn't saying the Superman movie is genius. The hipsters are saying it's genius.
Now, okay, when you say hipsters, what about like do you think these people are shills, like say the comic book reviewers, your typical YouTube people who are enjoying the movie? What do you think about that?
They're all at it. I'll call them all out. The only one that I think is like a legit not like that, I think he's really legit, is Heavy Spoilers over in the UK. But like a lot of these guys, Charlie from Emergency Awesome is okay. But I'm telling you, if we look at all the reviewers I'm used to, Jeremy Johns, right, and like Screen Crush and all these guys are too cool for school. They think they're super intellectual, and they try to intellectualize comic books like way too much.
Right.
Well, watch their breakdowns of things. You're like, yo, bro, step off. It's a comic about a dude who punches people and flies around.
right.
And so what it is they like James Gunn because he's edgy and he's different.
Right. Okay.
Because he's the winner and Rock's an asshole. I happen to like big bald dudes. Wait, no mo.
Okay, I could dig it. Yeah, everyone seems to be giving it its glowing reviews, man. But I saw it, and I'm giving it a 90. And I told you why I'm giving it a 90. It's because of the 5% of the politics of it, which is it is a good launching pad for a new universe, man. Let me tell you what I enjoyed about the movie, right? I enjoyed the brightness of it. I enjoyed the cinematography. I enjoyed Lex Luthor immensely. I enjoyed Lex Luthor's plan, which is very classical Lex. He was obviously a way superior Lex Luthor than the one we got in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
His plan even made more sense. I enjoyed Guy Gardner, whatever this guy's name is, Guy Gardner, Guardian. Yeah. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed Lois Lane more than I thought. I loved everything about Jimmy Olsen and him being like this heartthrob. I enjoyed the influencer girlfriend. I enjoyed the general lightness of it, right? What I didn't enjoy was Ultraman. I didn't enjoy that. I didn't enjoy Ultra Bizarro Man. Right, I was like, he's either Ultraman or it's Bizarro. You can't have it both ways, right?
Right, exactly. And they rolled them all into one thing, and I hate it when movies do that.
Right.
Beck's frustrated. Welcome in. She says #fangirls for fan of boys. Love
What's up, Bex? Actually, here's another thing, my brother. So I took my son to see it. He didn't make it through the entire movie, so I just wound up watching a bootleg. I said it. I streamed it, right? And I'm actually happy that I streamed it. I saw it on Super Tuesday, which meant I spent $19 for both our tickets, which was the appropriate amount. I don't know if I would have been happy to see this in a 3D $35 experience. You know what I'm saying?
Do you see them attacking me in the chat? Beck says Mantis done broke out a collared shirt. He fancy.
No.
Oh, you fancy, yo? Yeah, exactly.
It's a nice color too, man. It's a nice color on camera.
Yeah. Thank you. I keep it real. I'm cleaning myself up. I'm in the process of cleaning myself up. In the next couple of months, I'm gonna have a glow up, and you're gonna
plan glow ups
on all of you.
And glow up, so all the rage with the kids, man. Get your TikTok popping, right? Start giving life advice.
I'm gonna be dancing on TikTok. All the honeys are gonna want a piece of this. But speaking of overanalyzing your comic book movies, here's the problem with I have with the Bizarro thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kind of felt like they dropped the story of his father telling him conquer them and have a harem, spread your superior genes type stuff, right?
Right.
And so check this out. His father says that, and that's a big deal at the big start of the movie, but it kind of just fades away. People just forget.
Right.
It's not a thing. But later on, he sees his duplicate. You know what would have driven this movie home?
What's that?
If the main villain, and obviously this kind of plot line should have worked for a different movie because the main villain was his doppelganger. If his main villain was a conqueror, that he could see the conqueror his father wanted him to be,
right,
in his villain. But they didn't try to make it all that deep, you know?
Yeah. And you know why they didn't want to make it all that deep? Because that story was kind of done before in the Snyderverse. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, we don't want to take a chance of rehashing the fact that General Zod is a great way to start off the movie. I think that's where Man of Steel was superior, to be honest with you. Just a better, more imposing villain. Lex Luthor is dope, but a more imposing villain, man. You know?
Yeah. No, I honestly felt the pressure and the dread and the threat of the Phantom Zoners. And the Phantom Zoners in third act of Man of Steel are destroying the Earth, and it's like only one Superman. He's fighting like 50 of them,
Right.
and he's getting his ass kicked. I was like, how is he going to get out of this one?
Exactly. And I thought that was amazing, even in a situation like the Flash movie, bringing them back. It was like these were imposing villains, man. This was a scary situation. Never at any point during Gunn's movie did I ever fear for Superman's well-being. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, no way did I feel it. I felt no threat at all. Pokey comes in and says the Hat and the Cat is out of the slammer.
That's right, Pokey.
Hi, Pokey. How's it going? And so, yeah, I didn't feel that. Now I agree with you. Lex is like, this is like the one. I think this might be the best Lex I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, in live action. Very good. Yeah, I agree with you. The overallness of the movie, I like. I didn't like the whole first act.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like it starts in the middle of the story, and I'm like, you should. Here's what it is: a movie. One of the general rules of a movie when making a movie is you show, you don't tell.
Right.
You don't have a character say, my father is a psychopath. You have him come home and his house is trashed and his father's eating out of the trash and it has a bloody knife in his hand. Right. And then that's where the audience is like, oh, he must be a psycho. There's something wrong with the dad. Right. This is very simple. So why are they explaining in the opening crawl this thing about his interference into this war?
Mm-hmm.
And the fight with the Bavarian hammer. Why didn't it start there? Why didn't it start when he was interfering?
Yeah, that would have made sense. But I think, like you said, privately when we were talking the other day, people would have took that as too much of an origin story, right?
Right.
Even though I don't think it qualifies as that, man. You could have literally had to crawl and shown us him, like, going through the conflict. You could have done an old timey reel of Superman back at his shenanigans again, breaks into
Yeah. Right.
One critique I saw of the movie was exactly about that, which was this one reviewer felt like nothing worked in the movie because you were just thrust in to this universe, not knowing what's going on. You don't know how he met the Justice Gang, quote unquote. You don't know, anything really other than it follows the same beats that Superman is an alien. He came to Earth. Lex Luthor hates Superman, but I guess we take for granted how often we've been told that story. Actually, what's crazy about it, man? As I'm talking about it, this doesn't mean I want to stop talking about it. I'm incredibly bored about thinking of the movie. Even though I gave it a 90, nothing about it wowed me. I gave it a 90 because it was a good start, man. And I wanted them to succeed because I want DC fans to finally get whatever it is y'all are looking for. Whatever.
Yeah, no, and here's what I'm saying. Like I said, this is good for the universe because I loved all the characters around Superman.
Right.
I just think a Superman movie, especially a first one, needs to be as epic as Superman 78. Right. Or as epic as Man of Steel, because those movies really made Superman. Both of them made Superman look not only real, like he could be real,
okay,
but he's epic. They point out his godlike nature. Not big G God, but you know what I'm saying. Like
yeah.
And this movie kind of just skirted over it. They were like, it's a guy with powers,
which is ironic. Which is ironic because this movie is supposed to not be the grounded Superman, but yet he came off looking weaker than the grounded Superman somehow. Yeah. I was talking to a buddy at work today, and I was like, there was no moment in this movie. Maybe there was. Let me just think it through. In Man of Steel, when he's under the gravity machine, right? The terraformer, that is the penultimate portion of that movie. Everything in that scene is tense, right? What is this? Harry and these guys, the editor, they're trying to escape the Daily Planet. The girl gets pinned. It's getting closer to them. Yeah, I'm like, bro, I know he's not going to die, but I felt the tension, the potential that they were all going to die right then and there. Superman's under the gravity thing. It's pushing him down, and he's like, it shows you his full might. Kept waiting for that moment in Man of Steel. In the new Superman. You know where that moment kind of came for me?
When
Mr. Fantastic walked out to that song, fun, 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 and beat a bunch of dudes to death. That was about the most epic thing about this movie, man. That was really
when Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Terrific.
Oh yeah, Mr. Yeah, no, that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so funny because I agree with you. Even here's what I'm saying. Even at the end when Superman was fighting the Raptors, I love it that everyone's calling it a Superman versus Ice. They call them Ice. It was comical. When they all jump on him and he just spins around like a ballerina and they all fly off, and then he spins around with his laser beam eyes. I was like, give me a fight, man. Give me a fight.
No, I have to agree with that. I mean, so there was a scene where I felt like, which made this movie distinct and made it distinct from Man of Steel, but ironically, they both have to do with a snap. Right at the end of Man of Steel, what was really jarring for everyone was that Henry Cavill's Superman snapped Jen Razad's neck. Right, it didn't bother me. That's how you know I'm not like this crazy attached, not crazy, like super attached to Superman's character. In this movie, that moment to really distinguish the difference between these Supermans was when he broke his own arm to get rid of Ultraman. And I was like, there was something about that scene. Rather than snap Ultraman's neck, even though he banished him to a freaking dimension,
another dimension or whatever, which we're sure he's going to come back as Bizarro.
Like that is the moment where you're like, okay, this is the Superman. This is the lighthearted, I'll do anything to save anyone Superman.
Okay, so here's a critique about some fighting I had.
Okay.
So the engineer infects his lungs with her nanoprobes.
Yeah, this made no sense.
And then his solution is to fly up out of the atmosphere and then fly back down as fast as possible and hit the ground. And it ends up working. I just do not understand how that would work.
Yeah. Right. No, I get you.
Okay. It wasn't just me.
No, the science behind it is absolutely moronic. And here's the thing, man. So, okay, what I thought was going to happen in that moment, which I thought was going to be the epic moment, was he was going to fly closer to the sun, thus revealing more of his godlike power. Instead, his plan was, I'm taking you all the way up and then smashing you down.
like a thug. You know who I expect that tactic from?
Who's that?
Black Adam.
I knew you were going to say that. African American Adam. That's what I'm talking about. Oh man. But yeah, listen, they came, they saw the box office seems to be doing extremely well.
Yeah.
Like, so we know we're going to get more Gunverse, for all the haters, it's happening. I'm going to check where the numbers are at as of right now. But the question is, are you excited for more of the Gunverse?
This is what it is. I totally am. Here's what it is. I'm more excited for other DC movies because of this movie than I am for a sequel to Superman.
Right.
Like I'm just kind of into the sequel for Superman, but I just can't wait to see what they're going to do with the Green Lanterns. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with all these other characters. Are Mr. Terrific. I hope they do the Terrifics. I hope
be amazing
in there. But I'm just saying they all have bright futures and I can't wait for it. But I'm more excited for his surrounding ensemble cast than actually Superman himself. I might be a Superman hater though.
Oh, really?
Not a hater, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like I'm very rarely excited about Superman. You know what I mean? Like the way I'd be excited for Wolverine or Deadpool or Batman or something like that, right?
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you brought up Batman because it was a great post on IG where they showed, this was the inspiration for Superman and whatever that was. And then it was like, if James Gunn admits that this was the inspiration for Superman, they showed the Batman animated and they're like, can this be the inspiration for Batman? And I was like, you know what? The animated Batman series that came out on Fox when we were kids is probably one of the best representations of Batman. Like it really did hit all areas of Batman if you think about it.
Yo, Courtney, aka known as Shaolin Iceboxer, he says, I am here, best Superman ever to be put on screen. Courtney, where should I send your link so you can get on the mic with us?
Yeah,
where would you like that? You want that in the gram?
Mantis is really looking forward to discussing this with you, Courtney.
Yeah.
So box office currently, James Gunn Superman leapt past 300 million mark at the worldwide box office on Thursday. As it heads into second weekend, the number includes an impressive domestic haul of $177.7 million.
This is good. This is good. And so what it was is the projections were 140 million, which is very, very good, right? People, like remember Black Adam started its first weekend with 60,
Right.
right? And so that's horrible. So but he ended up getting 122, which it missed the mark of a tie thing, but that's still really high.
Okay.
And then and actually apparently its box office is not getting a high drop because word of mouth is good. Enough people are believing the people who love it. And so they're going.
See, that's what you need, man. That's what Fantastic Four needs. It needs the tryhards and the diehards to go first, and then talk everyone else into going and seeing it. They're gonna
So that's the question I have for you, brother. Do you think that this means that there can only be one, and because it's Superman's day, then therefore it cannot be Fantastic Four's day?
Fantastic Four has got an uphill battle, and it has nothing to do with Superman. It's the victim of the floppery that has happened with the MCU for too long now. And it's got to fight past that, and it's got to pull people in, because right now it's super cool to hate on Marvel, and they give you enough reasons to hate on them as well, whether you be left leaning or right leaning. I just don't agree with the left leaning people as much, because I'm like, you guys just want way too much and give nothing back to the conversation.
Right.
And when it comes to the right leaning folks, if there's just any hint of any part of the real world existing in there, they're like, whoa,
oh, absolutely. I'm sure there are people who looked at Superman and they saw Mr. Terrific. They said, "Whoa!" I'm like, guys, the character's always been black.
No, he wasn't. He's Mr. Fantastic. What's crazy though about Mr. Terrific? Really interesting that no one tried to use him before, because he has a dark enough story where you'd have thought Snyder would have jumped all over that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what it is for the Snyder cut? For the Snyder stuff, they kept delaying or canceling movies on him, and that's another thing. The executives during the age of Snyder didn't let him cook. They did not let him cook. Remember, it was like many years later that we got the Snyder cut. We actually got a finished Justice League.
Yeah.
So even when people try to compare it to Kevin Feige's work on the MCU, it's not comparable. Snyder's only really behind 4 or 5 movies, and Feige's hit 30 already. Yeah.
What's crazy though? Izzy just made a great point. Say what you will about Marvel, but they definitely know how to stay relevant, and when they drop bangers, they get the wow factor on point. Izzy, that's what's so frustrating about them, man. It's like they intentionally do 1 or 2 things wrong to ruin something. Like The Hood should have been premiered in he should have come out like Werewolf by Night, right? Introduce him in something to do with the supernatural. Hell, Doctor Strange, he could have it makes no sense to me that Mephisto and that character premiered in Riri, other than they were like, we need to do something to bolster this show.
Right. And I absolutely love that Izzy said Superman was good, papers or no papers.
Show me your papers.
And then Shaolin says, I can't hop on this evening, my boys. I apologize. It's all right. It's
all good, brother. All good. All good.
Mr. Terrific was on Arrow for a while, but he was awful in that show. You know why? They didn't have the special effects for him in that show. Yeah. So they had him the tech guy, but he didn't really do anything. Like, he can't do cool things, flying chairs and spears and stuff like that.
What's crazy, man? I love the blurred community's reaction to Mr. Terrific, and you just know next Comic-Con who every black guy is showing up as.
Yeah, that's gonna be the one we all know every year.
Everyone's gonna be coming in with a half-faded froze.
I'm into it, man. I think it's pretty cool.
I think so too, man.
I really can't wait to see what they do with that character. They better not waste that potential.
No, man. I hope not.
Izzy said there's so many characters in Marvel, they don't know where to go, and they're trying to introduce so many characters without being repetitive. I feel you. There's too many. I think we could use a culling.
Bro, they blew their wad early with the freaking multiverse on things like what if. Like, so what's the wow factor now with Battle World? I don't care. I've seen variants all galore.
Every type of variant. You know what I mean? We've seen crazy stuff. So I agree with you. I really hope that Fan Fort isn't affected But it has two things working against it. It has Marvel's, like you said, the Marvel, we're bored of you, we're sick of your crap thing, but also, people like to be competitive, right? So if people are loving on Superman, I think it might be possible that they're going to be hating on Fan 4, even if it's good.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You can bet your bottom dollar. Like, it's people wanted to fail, man. Just like they wanted African American Adam to fail, which I don't understand. Montel, DJ Frenchie.
Yeah, what up, DJ Frenchie into his house, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
You guys aren't listening to my show. We're gonna listen to your show. We're gonna let your show's on for 4 hours, B. We got you, brother. We got you. But so things that James Gunn, I think he talks too much, and so he talked about a bunch of the things that he left out of the movie. Right? And so apparently there was a bunch more of the Daily Planet people, right?
No one cares.
No one cares. And so there was a thing where Cat Grant, and I'm sure most people are like, I saw that movie. Who's Cat Grant? She was the blonde chick in The Office who was talking all the time, but they never,
Jiggles, the one that everyone's going crazy over. Yeah.
So she kept talking about this boyfriend of hers, and so apparently there were all these scenes cut out about her talking about her boyfriend. At the end of the movie, you find out it's Guy Gardner. Okay, I'm glad they cut that. We don't need it, right? The other thing, have you heard about this? The torture of Krypto.
Oh no!
So when they invade the Fortress of Solitude, the movie edit shows the engineer makes a net out of her nanos and she captures them, right?
Man.
In the original cut, Ultraman gives the dog a beat down. And check this out. Audiences universally hated it because of that. They were obsessed with it at the end. They were like, "You had that dude beat a dog in front of us. What is wrong with you?"
Amazing.
And they had to refilm. At the end when Lex Luthor's he's giving a speech to Superman. He's caught. He's giving his final speech, and then Krypto just comes out of nowhere and it mauls him.
Really? That's amazing.
Amazing scene. So apparently, originally, when he's done being mauled, when he stands up, he's mad bloody and cut up. And another thing that they said is they were like, "No, you're getting an R rating if you have the dog maul him up like that." So they had to reshoot it and have him less effed up.
Oh, come on, man. Grow up here. Wait, why? The engineer was cold. Very well done. Why am I not remembering who the engineer was in this movie?
It's the chick with the nano.
Oh, that's that. Yeah. There was one thing with her that kind of was just weird. I thought it was a bad shot, bad placement. Remember when she spins her entire body around to turn to the other side of the fight? And I was just like, that was kind of awkward and cumbersome. Like, okay, I guess it's cool, but
she does a couple of things that her power set shouldn't allow her to do. Like she shouldn't be able to turn her entire hand into a buzzsaw. She could have a buzzsaw on her hand,
right?
Which, like you said, that turnaround. That's like a T-1000. That's not her, because she's not the nanobites. The nanos work for her, but she can't.
It was just
not a real shapeshifter, but
it was just.
I don't know. Over here, we've got Izzy saying still working, waiting for Static Shock to make
canceled. Canceled, Izzy. Canceled. They canceled that.
Maybe he will. Maybe they will let him in.
Oh no, guys! Listen, man. Let's just all universally accept something. Static Shock was okay as an animated series and was just okay as a comic.
hater Ray. Shaolin says I wouldn't have minded more Cat Grant. There we go. He says, the engineer was cold. Very well. Yeah, she was super well done. I wish her nanos were silver like in the comic books. I don't know why they made it black. Just so we were sure she was a villain.
Yeah, because black is evil.
Yeah. Way to make it all serious. Mantis was the engineer. Yeah, so she's from the Authority. And so another thing that they're doing, and I can so this is funny. You gotta let's talk about comic connections, right?
Okay.
So check this out. So in the Authority, there's a Hawk Girl rip off, but there's a girl who called Swift, and she has bird wings, and she's basically Hawk Girl, but she's on the Authority. And there's a famous comic where they're overthrowing a tyrannical government, and Swift picks up the dictator, and she flies him over to some of the people who are starving in the streets. And she's like, here are your people. And she drops him down and the people rip him limb from limb.
Nice.
And I feel like what Hawkgirl did
was a rip off of that.
Was very similar to that. I think the Gunverse is merging them. I think Hawkgirl is going to end up in the Authority when they finally make that movie.
Interesting. I don't care.
Okay.
No, I don't mean your assessment was astute, and I like it. There's so many things about the Gunverse. I'm just like, I don't care. I need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I have to first watch the Authority because I'm not up to speed on these characters like you guys are. I have to watch the actual animated, then the movie, and then get invested. I'm coming in this blind, man. I'm a normie, bro. I'm a normie. I'm like, who? The Authority?
You are a normie.
I am.
So a couple of things that we also have to go in. So a lot of people think that the origin of Superman was tainted or corrupted or done wrong. This is false. So there's an old Golden Age story, just one issue, where the communication that Jor-El left for Superman was corrupted. It's actually General Zod is behind switching it. He switches it out to make him think his father is evil.
Right.
And so clearly this is like referencing that. And I think there's no way they're going to leave him being evil. I think we're eventually going to find out that something was wrong with the encoded message.
Okay. Now that's interesting. That's interesting, right? Still finding it really hard. No, I'm joking. You know what? I'm excited, man. I'm excited for properties. I'm excited for the Green Lantern property. I need to go watch Creature Commandos. I need to go watch that because everyone tells me it's amazing. And I'm also excited to see what they do with Mr. Terrific. I will watch The Authority, but what's really going to get me invested is Batman. However he goes with Batman, I don't want that guy, the emo Batman, who can't fight. I'm done with those days. I'm done with Batman that can't fight.
If the rumor is that if they have to merge, they're going to make the one that interacts with the other heroes is the older version of him, where it's the same actor. It's like him 10 years in the future where he can fight. I'm fine with it.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Speaking
of fighting, speaking of fighting.
Oh wait. Oh, are you still on Superman?
No. I was going to switch, but one more. Go for it.
One last thing. There's also some haters who say, "What's up with Supergirl and her cameo?"
I love that. I loved it.
Not only do I love that, that is comic book accurate. In the early 2000s, Supergirl goes to college and becomes a drunken sorority girl. And so these types of shenanigans it is in the comic. It's not who she is all the time, but
right.
there are comics that to reference that connection.
Yeah. But who do you want Supergirl to be? I loved in the animated series when she showed up and she's basically like this ultra violent monster. I love that, man. That's a character I want to see you do some things with. Who are these haters? Are they feminist? Are they?
Well, Tyrone Magnus thinks he thinks all this stuff is against the comic and yada yada yada.
He's a purist.
Shaolin says, "I love the change with his parents. I actually prefer it. I hope they stay that way. I like snobby
evil.
Oh, evil. Okay. Evil Kryptonians gives me a Viltrumite vibe. Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying that they might as well be Viltrumites, and it's like a different comic world if that's the case.
Well, I mean, if you look at their outfits, they very similar.
Right, all white, right? The all white thing. But you know what I'm surprised didn't happen in the movie?
What's that?
I'm surprised that a bunch of liberals didn't defend him by saying, well, they come from a different culture. No. So who are we to judge them?
It's too red pill for them. They're using
I think in real life there would be some college educated people who are like, well, they come from another culture. You know, harem's other thing. Who are we to judge these people?
Jordan Peterson's like, well, you need to understand what is evil. What up, Berlin? Izzy says, was Supergirl drunk? Yes. Yes, she was. She showed back up, even though she shouldn't have been drunk when she came back into orbit, but that's how much she must have drank. And I love that the dog slammed her. In fact, that shot was outrageous, the way he's slamming her on the ground. I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
Actually, I will say this. I do not want Crypto to dominate the Supergirl movie like it did in this. It was cute to watch him intervene in every interaction ever, because there's a lot of that dog in this movie. And I'm not a dog hater, but let the superheroes do their thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we don't need Krypton Part 2 for sure. For sure. I'm
now
ready
you can switch it if you want.
Guys, Mortal Kombat 2 trailer. Burley, you showed up right at the right time, man. The Red Band trailer for Mortal Kombat 2 is released. It's going to have its theatrical debut in October, because remember the original reboot that came out was during COVID time, so it went straight to HBO Max, as it should, because it was a flaming piece of Shaolin. Mantis and I watched it live. It was a watch along.
Yeah.
Ooh. Our faces, if you slow it down, you can just see the hope getting pulled out.
Yeah, I'm saying I particularly hated what they did with Scorpion. The Scorpion thing was just, oh man.
It was bad business, man. Yeah. But so they released 2 trailers. They released a Johnny Cage themed one, and then this one. Yeah.
So I don't like the Johnny Cage one because it doesn't actually show any Mortal Kombat. It's a trailer for his fake movie.
Yeah, that one was cheesy, and I was like, well, I won't be seeing this, but I'm gonna catch a $7.47 showing of this. Let's hit it.
Let's see what they got.
Uno mas, thanks.
You're Johnny Cage. I loved Citizen Cage when I was a kid.
It is so weird to see him as Johnny.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
They should do a reboot.
Nobody wants that. Shit went out in the 90s.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen to fight.
Tell me you're not some crazy fans. How are you doing that?
Are you coming or what?
I love that they have the Wu-Tang.
Where the hell am I?
It's called Mortal Kombat.
Fight scenes look better already.
It's a fighting tournament. To the death.
Fuck that.
That's a great answer.
It's a war for the fate of your world.
You dickheads in or what? I'm not some champion. I don't have transformer arms or shoot lightning bolts. This shit's got nothing to do with me. I'm an actor.
I find you annoying.
Not the face.
What? Oh, I'm gonna complain about this.
It's time to become the hero.
America's favorite Japanese
You were
guy.
meant to be.
Yeah.
All right, you big ugly fuck.
No,
It's showtime.
Get over here!
what did he do?
Only the strong survive.
Finish him!
Are you shitting me? You don't have any powers? Just incredibly handsome.
Okay, so thoughts.
Sorry, I was just like nerding out. I'm like, all right. Trailer. This trailer already looks better than the first one. I'm hoping.
Yes, it does.
First of all, a lot of deaths, a lot of kills in this trailer. So I hope that doesn't give away too much of the story. I'm excited. I'm excited to go see this, man. I'm hoping that homeboy that was the protagonist from part 1 gets brutally murdered. Because whenever I see those type of weak characters make it to the sequel, I'm like, he's got to die. He's got to appease the gods of filmmaking. Kill him.
So yeah, look, Vex said it. Vex said the thing that annoyed me. So she's like, "Oh my god, Tati is playing Jade." So Tati Ali or whatever.
Who the hell is that?
She's the bald chick who's in at this point she's in everything. She plays, so she's a light-skinned black girl who plays every black character now.
Jade's not black.
And so
Tati Ali?
So she's in this new Heretic game. Is it Heretic or Infidel game?
Mhm.
She's in this. She was in Sabrina. What else has she been in?
Oh.
She's in every. She was in the show You. She's she's been getting cast. You know what? Fuck. I'm gonna look it up.
I'm looking her up right now. I'm looking.
Okay, thank you.
It's crazy because when I typed in her name, she didn't come up. Well, let's see.
How do we spell her last name, team? Come on.
Tati Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. There we go.
Yeah, that's why. Who the hell is Tati Ali? That's the girl from Fresh Prince.
Same difference. Yeah, he said Jade looks like she joined the Dora Milaje. I'm cool with that though. I'm cool with that Dora Milaje vibe. I think we like the Dora Milaje vibe, right?
Did I miss something? Is Jade not a doppelganger? And of Katana? Did I miss something?
No, she originally was, but eventually all the clones, they started giving them their own stories as they went along, right? So they did that to Jade too. So Jade is more recently in the last couple of Mortal Kombats portrayed as a dark-skinned, handmaiden of Katana.
Oh, you know who this girl looked like for a second? Oh, was she not in no, okay. Do you know who she looked like for a second? Was the girl that was in what's this show that everyone loves to hate? The Acolyte.
She's not an Acolyte, but I'm actually surprised she's not because of the role she's being
They're like, we need a racially ambiguous chick.
That's what it is. That's what it is. She's a racially ambiguous girl, number one, and they cast her everywhere. So, but other than that slight complaint, I do like that. They're showing us real Scorpion and not his ancestor, who's the fucking. Don't get me started on the first
descendant who turns into a metaled body person that's never been referenced in the game at all. They were like, we just need a vehicle to move the storyline along. Yeah, I don't like
this scene right here that I paused it on of like Scorpion fighting Noob Saibot in hell is like that's Mortal Kombat to me.
That is Mortal Kombat, and it's I think it's gonna be a good time, man. I think it's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna go check it out. Man. Fight scenes look good. Johnny Cage, I'm glad that he can actually fight, right? He's some acrobatics in there. Jax is Jax, completely useless. But hey, what are you gonna do? Representation. Did I freeze or did Mantis freeze? Mantis? Waiting for host to rejoin? Can you guys hear me? Am I alone in the world? Is the stream still going? Mortal Kombat. Beck says I'm watching. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Hello? Oh, for the love of God. Okay, I can see myself moving around on YouTube, so it's not me. We lost Mantis. At any rate, are y'all excited for Mortal Kombat? Are you guys excited to go see it? I'm really surprised we're not hearing anything from Berlin, who is a Mortal Kombat aficionado. We'll just wait for Mantis to rejoin the stream. Kind of wish I could take control and play it again. Thank you, Pokey. Thank you. She's actually not Hollywood's go-to black girl, Amandla Steinberger, which is why I'm excited to see someone else. Amandla Steinberg, besides the Hunger Games and besides Acolyte, what else has she been in, Bex? Did she really take the place of the racially ambiguous go-to person for Hollywood? Because here's my problem with that, right? Hey, welcome back, big guy.
How's it going? You guys miss me? I know you did.
Yeah. So Bex made a really good point. Bex said that in regards to Tati or Takis, that she is not Hollywood's go-to black girl that Amandla Steinberg is.
Could you say that again? Because I lost internet again.
Mantis is gone. She definitely does. LOL. What do you mean? Wait. She definitely does what, Bex? Bring it back to the point because I got distracted with Mantis. Who definitely does what? And here's the thing, man, about this movie, right? About Mortal Kombat in and itself. It only has to do a few things for it to be good. If you think about it, all Mortal Kombat has to do to be successful is have amazing fight scenes, brutal fatalities, and a story that moves it along just enough that's cohesive and consistent with what we played in the game.
Yes, consistent. You're exactly like, for instance, I couldn't stand in the first one where to explain their powers, instead of it being like martial arts magic, they're like, everyone has a gift. If they touch the orb, you get a special power or whatever. And I'm like, what is this shit? Never referenced in any Mortal Kombat. What are you talking about?
Yes, Izzy, I did see Scorpion swing on his chains like Spider-Man. It's always been a point of frustration with me and Scorpion where it's like, why is this guy not more agile? Which is what was always my problem with the game, to be honest. Whenever I play the game, I'm like, this feels very stiff. Pause. Like, this game feels very, very stiff. Big pause. Like, it doesn't.
Well, I know because
feel
you're a Street Fighter guy, but like, yeah, I feel the stiffness of
Hey,
Mortal Kombat is more
You're gonna
realistic.
say I like the stiffness. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, I think it's.
Pause.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, pause. I was giving you
The stiffness. Oh God, there it is again. I just think that's more realistic, and I think Scorpion's pretty agile for a teleporter. I mean, he's
teleportation seems pretty stiff, but you know what? This is more acrobatic, and there were some cool fight scenes in part one, and there were some cool moments, like the fight scene with Scorpion and Sub-Zero at the end is that's a great fight.
great.
Scene.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Shaolin has said earlier about Kung Lao getting cucked, and it's true. Kung Lao does get cucked a lot, but he's an easy character to cuck because he's super arrogant. But I don't remember if he was an arrogant character in the game. I think he was more of a wise sage type of guy, but who knows, man?
See, this is why I didn't move on to Mortal Kombat 1. This is why I stay playing 11, because one changes everybody, right? So everyone's living a new origin. It's the reboot, right? The reboot. And because I think Kung Lao is like amazing in 11. Like his personality, his character is like spot on. It's like, it's good stuff.
Well, the story leading up to 11 is amazing. I told you I sat down one day and watched a 6-hour YouTube lore explained for Mortal Kombat, basically from the first game, everything all the way to MK11 leading into 1. And I was thoroughly entertained. I was like, this is absolutely crazy. Raiden went mad at one point. So it's a lot. Beck says, I'm just here for graphics and token black girl. It's a low bar, Bex.
That is a low bar, but I respect it because she's at least true.
It's honest. It's honest. Plot twist: they make you think Static Shock is canceled, then he shows up beating up Robin's ass, and Batman actually kills him for trying to save Robin just for Robin to betray him.
Yo, my man, you stay on Static Shock. You've been on Static Shock for the last hour. No offense, I know you like them, but no one's been talking about Static Shock, yo.
Charlotte says when they rebooted the timeline, Kung Lao became an arrogant prick. LOL.
I mean, I guess that they had to do something. The storyline just kept on getting more and more ridiculous, and I actually like that 11 references how ridiculous the timeline is, where the characters are fighting alternate timeline versions of themselves.
Yeah,
like, it just got ridiculous, right?
It's true though, man. Like when the story gets too convoluted, it's time for some time travel.
Time travel. Now it's Scorpion and Sub-Zero are brothers.
Clean it up.
It's wild, but
Izzy says I had that one copied and pasted. He was ready to go.
He's saying I'm gonna preemptively write 10 comments about Static Shock, and then he's just slowly putting them out.
Oh man. It's sad, man. I live in a world where there's a Mortal Kombat sequel coming for a movie that was horrible, and there's still no Blade movie. I'm not going to go into. We're not going to go into. The world's depressing enough. The Epstein files don't exist, apparently.
You know what the problem is? I'm too sober right
now. What happened, big guy? Too sober to deal with life without Blade. I feel the same way too.
Yeah, like what is going on? Like I'm saying, why do these injustices? Why are they allowed to happen?
It's Jonathan Major's fault, man.
What do you mean? What? Wait, how did she get from there to there?
Hear me out, man. Jonathan Majors beat a white woman up allegedly, and then it scared Marvel away from any other black man leading a role. They were like, cancel Black Panther. Everything black needs to come to a screeching halt.
You know, actually, your statement is not that wild. It actually checks out.
It hunts, right? It hunts.
Yeah, it does. Oh wow, that's nuts. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I don't understand what the problem is. And
Right.
then, like, what did they say? They said Marvel has gone back to writing a Midnight Suns movie, and they're saying Ghost Rider is going to be the leader.
Nobody
Blade
cares.
is supposed to be the leader.
Nobody cares.
Do you realize that basically they're moving on with his team without him? Basically, is what
Yeah.
they're basically confirmed right there.
Bro, it was so simple, man. You have Mahershey, should have never been a part of Eternals. Should have just came through in freaking Werewolf by Night. But the problem is actors don't want to be on Disney Plus. And the ones that do, they're, shout out to Scarlet Witch. Wilson Olsen.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen. Yeah.
She is a humble woman, man. She was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. She's like, I'll do it. Everyone else is like, no, it's Disney Plus. I'm a big screen actor. Now what are you doing with your life? Right?
So, Bryan Cranston, from Breaking Bad fame, he became a huge actor after Breaking Bad. Like, he's doing all these important movies, these, award movies, right? And then, in 2017, they have Power Rangers, and he played Zordon.
Yeah.
And somebody asked him, they're like, this is not your typical movie. And then he explains, he says, well, I used to do voice acting for the monsters on Power Rangers back when it was a television show, and he said that they were the only people who would hire him.
Wow.
And then he said he was the only acting job I could get was doing these voices. And then he said, so anything the Power Rangers want, I will do for them. I respect that.
That's respect, man. That's respect. That is respect. Meanwhile, Robert Downey Jr. is like, the only way I'm coming back is if you fund generational wealth for the next 8 generations of my family.
It's like $90 million and a private jet, and he gets to sleep with all of your wives.
Now I might potentially have to sit through a movie where they're like, plot twist, Captain America's evil. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Like,
oh God, these movies better be good. They better be worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because all signs point to they could be really bad.
Everything points they could be really bad. Is he still going off in the chat? Shane Gillis Epstein joke, hilarious. Steve has a point. Thank you, Bex. They think they canceled Static Shock because his friend's dad was super racist.
Jesus Christ. I mean, if you guys want to make this a Static Shock, so I can't get my chat back up since I was kicked. The internet kicked me off and then brought me back.
So let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
Would you qualify yourself as a bigger Trump supporter than this guy? The frogs are gay. What's his name, man? Alex Jones.
Oh, Alex Jones?
Yeah, would you say you are a bigger Trump supporter than Alex Jones? Because I would say Alex Jones is a true zealot.
Yeah, he's a true zealot. No, like I think I've mentioned this. Am I even a Trump supporter? And so I'm a man who voted for Trump.
Oh,
and I have no problem discussing that or bringing that up. Some people will vote for Trump and be scared of it. No, I'll admit that he was a better candidate. I'm glad I voted for him.
Right.
I don't support him in everything he does. Right. There's some things I don't. So obviously I really don't think I'm as nearly as big as Alex Jones. Why do you bring that up randomly?
Because our next and potentially our last topic, which is I just think a doozy, because I don't know if we'll have time to really get into the Candace Owens debacle, which went down recently, is we're looking at Bless God Studios, aka Ruslan. And he's going to be covering Breaking Point coverage, continued coverage, and shout out to them, of the Epstein situation, where Trump just recently came out and denigrated his own base and said, you know what, They used to be followers, now they're idiots, something to that effect. I just want to get your take on this, but we gotta let it play. And you chime in as the I'm just gonna let you chime in. You chime in as the points come across. This is not a got him. This is not a setup, but I want to see that the people who did support him on policies, can you still support him while looking at the situation? So let's let it rock. You let me know.
We mentioned this in my conversation with Jonathan from Ear to Hear Ministries, and it was the idea that perhaps some of this hoax is indirectly connected to stuff going on in the Middle East of a little country called Israel, Mossad, and all this sort of stuff. I mentioned it. We cut to Crystal. She talks about it more here, and then it goes into some of the statements about this. So this is from Breaking Points, not endorsing everything they ever report on, but I do think that this perhaps is the reason why there's other stories going viral. And in the future, in the next segment, we'll talk about those of you guys that are like, would Kamala have been better? Like, we're going to get there.
Yeah.
I love that
people care about the price of eggs. Of course, people care about other things, no doubt about it.
Go ahead.
I love that he refuses to use the word Israel through all that.
Yeah.
Like a certain country in the Middle East.
Right. It's a quick way to get shadow banned and stay shadow banned, to be honest with you. And it's interesting that that's a thing.
And, we're covering other stories in the show. There are other things going on in the world.
So this is in context of the hoax files.
Okay.
Yeah.
Assad has blackmail material on the president of the United States. I think we should know that. I think that's probably a pretty important thing to know. So no, we can't just dismiss this story out of hand, especially after the way that Trump has responded to this in such a bizarre and inexplicable fashion, and is now seems to be explicitly laying the groundwork to have some sort of excuse if something bad does ultimately come out. And let's also not forget that Steve Bannon apparently said previously, going into 2016, that Jeffrey Epstein was the one person who he thought could nuke Trump's presidential ambitions.
There you go. So the part I'm struggling with is like, well, why did the Democrats not use this against him if they had this information? That's the part I still don't understand.
Yeah, it's the
because it's invalid. Right? So basically people are like, they have this weapon that could just nuke anyone. Biden was in charge of the free world, right? And in charge of the Epstein list at the whole time. So why didn't he they did everything to bankrupt, to murder and destroy Trump. Why didn't they just release it if he's on the list?
Right.
And the logic would suggest he's not on the list.
Right.
Right.
Or he's on the list in a way that isn't damning enough, right? And it's like
or the list is just like unconfirmed. Anyone he hung out with, or you know what I mean, something that does it isn't a smoking gun.
Yeah, look at Crystal's face, man. Shout out to Breaking Points, man, for trying to be consistent media. I think they do a good job at it, but her face right now is like she's not happy.
Part that does make it feel like it falls all apart from a conspiracy perspective.
Right, let's go and put the Elon Musk thing up there on the screen. Reply from Elon. Here's what he had to say. Quote, the old admit nothing, deny everything, make counterclaims, but it won't work this time. And quote, wow, amazing. Epstein himself and Ghislaine is in federal prison for a hoax. By the way, Ghislaine's legal team has been citing the government's actions and appealing.
Whoa, rewind that real quick. What did they just say about Ghislaine?
Hoax. By the way, Ghislaine's legal team has been citing the government's actions and appealing the U.S. Supreme Court. Screen reply from Elon. Here's what he had to say. Quote, the old admit nothing, deny everything, make counterclaims, but it won't work this time. And quote, wow, amazing. Epstein himself and Ghislaine is in federal prison for a hoax. By the way, Ghislaine's legal team has been citing the government's actions and appealing the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn her conviction. So that's great. Really congrats.
Yeah, now this is where it gets juicy, man. Like, technically, if there's no list and no crime was committed and the government's saying that it was a hoax, I know that that's hyperbolic language and he's saying that the list is a hoax, but any good defense attorney is going to pick up on that and be like, oh, we got a chance. We got a chance.
Oh, right. Well, I will admit that people pointed this out. They said this woman got multiple life counts, in all these ridiculous numbers of pimping in the only time ever there are no Johns.
Yeah.
And so if she's a pimp, if she's a madam and she controls all these prostitutes, who did these prostitutes sleep with if they're not charging any of these men?
Exactly. And why is she still in prison?
Yeah.
So they're saying,
if it's a hoax, why am I in prison?
Ghislaine Maxwell's people are like, so as per the federal government and the FBI. That's
Right.
a joke. Overtime.
Congratulations.
And
Great work by the U.S. government.
Directly to Trump.
Yes. I mean, she's like,
Directly
hey,
to Trump.
you said it's a hoax. So
Right.
if it's a hoax, then why am I serving 20 years in federal prison? Great question, isn't it? Let's also get to Alex Jones and some of the,
Now,
you know,
this
basically.
is great, by the way. This Alex
Yeah,
Jones
this is-
crash out on Trump is great.
Wow. Okay.
And he crashed out on Trump because Trump crashed out on everybody else in the statement he put out, so this is the statement he put out. The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again, just like the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agency. So he's basically blaming it on the Democrats and says this is a new scam. And my past supporters have bought into this.
Passed.
His approval ratings with his supporters, specifically the 18 to 30 demographic, are plummeting bad, right? Because of this. And so
You remember when I told you that he will always be his own undoing? But at this point, what does it really matter? He's already in office.
You know what? I actually refute that. I don't believe that his statistics are correct, and I would like to hear him state not only what those numbers are, but where he got them, because he says they're plummeting, but I watch the news every day,
Right.
and both sides are not reporting that.
Man, just calling out.
Neither CNN nor Fox are reporting plummeting numbers for this age group. So I'm wondering where Ruslan is getting his information.
Yeah, let's see. Let's continue.
he's kind of crashing out on everybody. Lunatic Levy, I made success in the past 6 months. Any president in our country's history. All these want to talk about wrong petting. Let these weaklings continue forward to the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you again. So check out now Alex Jones crashing out after Trump crashed out on him.
Basically dissident, what I don't know what you would call it, but people are speaking out and basically saying, okay, Trump, if this is the way that you want to play it, then I'm basically out with you. Here's what Alex Jones had to say. He says, I'm not in a cult.
You people that bring this up don't even deserve to be involved in this movement. You are excommunicata. You are henceforth ex cathedra from the mouth of the God King. You are expelled from the Church of the Holy Golden Toad. Donald John Trump.
Holy Golden Toad.
Holy Golden Toad.
Hilarious.
Well, I was never in the Church of the Holy Golden Toad. I do like you being a maverick, standing up for the country. We have the same enemies. I respect your stamina and courage. Been a big cheerleader when I agree with what you're doing. But if I'm being excommunicated, let me be clear. I was never in your church to be excommunicated. So you can't excommunicate me because I was never in your church.
I'm not fired. I quit.
This is interesting because
I mean, they're going to go on and expound on this even more, man, because it is interesting, right? Because at this point, what can you really do to Trump, even if you are one of the people that are butthurt, or you know, I won't say butthurt. If you're offended by what he said, being like a longtime supporter, and you're like, oh, screw me, no, screw you. But he's in for 4 years. But this is where I always think
I would be pissed if I was a MAGA from day one. I would be really pissed. That is a damning tweet. I will give you that.
it is. And let me ask you a question: do you think this is the establishment? The fix is in. This is how the Dems get back in the office. This is it. This has to be the way. I was like, they are never going to take power again until Trump proved me wrong.
No, it's too early because remember, aren't we in the same first year?
Yeah, we're in the first year, man.
By year four, people are gonna forget this shit. There'll be so many different scandals before that time is up. You know what I'm saying?
So you think people will just forget? You think Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, all the political pundits that helped get this man elected are just going to turn their back and forget?
I think things come and go. You know what I'm saying? And so Candace could be switching sides next year, depending on whatever the fuck he does, right?
Right. That's a good point. If he keeps winning, you're saying if he continues a history of winning, right? A record of winning.
Yeah. Like here's what I'm saying. If the election was held in November, yeah, I would be scared. But this is like we've got years before that. And think about how often things change. Like there's so much drama.
Right.
We're gonna go through another 20 different scandals before we hit 28.
Okay, man, it's standing firm.
Because Alex Jones, he's kind of coined this entire conspiracy movement online.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's been at this for since 9/11.
Specifically, yeah.
Right?
especially the Epstein. He was the first person to talk about the Epstein stuff.
And the Bohemian Grove and all that
Mhm.
sort of stuff. Now he's also gotten stuff wrong, and the Sandy Hook thing. Trump used this playbook.
Mhm.
He used it. He leaned into the conspiracy stuff with the birther thing.
Hello.
And now, guess what? A certain group of your constituency who thought you were going to be the anti-establishment guy, you were going to drain the swamp, they're upset.
Yep.
And that's not going to be without consequence.
I was never in a cult. And I never said MAGA was a cult. I said a lot of people want it to be a cult.
I was never in a cult, basically calling Trump out, saying, listen, you're like some great God emperor. I mean, in some ways, like Alex is correct in terms of it was never presented necessarily as a cult, but like, let's be honest about the way this politically has ended up working out and the way operationally it is.
You got Alex Jones crashing out on Donald Trump. You got.
What are your thoughts?
It's just noise. It is just noise. Yeah, I don't think that this is the scandal. I don't think Epstein is the scandal. I'm not saying the scandal won't come. There will be one, but like, yeah, I think people forget. People forget they have short attention spans. They care about what's happening right in front of them at the given time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you get them a refund check or something, the year of the election, they're gonna remember that.
All right, so your framing on this is like, this is bad, but this is not the scandal to stop the machine of the Trump MAGA machine moving forward.
Yeah, right. But you know what I think could have done it and might still do it? Tariffs. I think if tariffs blow up in his face completely, like people predict, remember people like, we're all gonna die because of tariffs, and then like nothing remotely at all like that happened. I'm saying if that turns
the
out
tariffs are outside my house, the tariffs are here.
Yes, the tariffs are coming to rape my wife and put my children into slavery. So if that ends up blowing up in his face, I think that could destroy it. Remember, that has to do with people's wallets.
Yeah. Okay.
Epstein is entertainment at this point, right?
All right, so let me ask you this question. Let's frame it a different way. Just forget that, right? The scandal, forget the politics of it all. Are you disenfranchised that he is not the anti-establishment guy that maybe he portrayed himself to be?
No, I think he is. I think he is. Here's what it is. He obviously a billionaire real estate mogul is clearly an establishment dude.
There you go.
Why one of the many reasons I voted for him is he is still the man who will tell mainstream politicians to go fuck themselves. Now, he certainly is part of the establishment, but he's the only one who will stand up and say, you know what, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And that's it. Like, I'll give you an example. All the Dems with the Ukraine stuff, right? They're like, how dare he abuse the president of Ukraine? I've got a horrible thing to say, and God bless the people of the Ukraine. I hope you survive this. It's a total injustice that what happened to you, but I thought it was funny when they made fun of your idiot president. Your idiot money embezzling, broke ass, begging president. Put on a fucking suit and learn how to defend yourself. I'm not paying for a fucking war, asshole.
The
fact that he said that is he essentially said that. Obviously, he didn't say fuck you, but that he essentially said that, in front of news cameras. I was like, wow, what a gangster. The other day, when they had a ceasefire and Israel still fired at Iran, and that's when Trump finally cursed.
Right.
Trump said, we've got two countries that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
It was very boardroom-esque.
Yes, and I like that. I like that Trump, and he is still that Trump.
You seen that the Greta girl's about to get taken over by pirates?
Again?
Who is this?
So Greta Thunberg. So here's what it is. Greta Thunberg, she's always trying to be in the news or whatever. So she took her fucking, her boat made out of trash, and she got a bunch of people, and she's like, we're gonna sail to Palestine.
Okay.
Obviously, that's a stupid idea, right?
Horrible idea.
And so, while she was sailing, pirates almost got them.
Oh my goodness!
But the pirates realized they didn't have anything on their ship, and then they left them. Because they're looking for shit, like actual shit to take.
Right.
And then she ended up getting caught by Israel. Obviously, you try to sail to Palestine, the Israeli Navy is going to get you.
Yeah.
And then she's sitting there. They gave her new clothes. She's eating dinner. She has a nice dinner in front of her. And she said, while she starts live streaming, she's like, I have been kidnapped by Israel. You have a fucking cell phone. I'm sorry, I'm cursing a lot right now. But that's the state that the news puts me in, man.
Yeah.
Idiocracy of it all.
Yeah. Okay. I dig it, man. Shit
Donald
made
Trump
out of
crashing
garbage.
out on MAGA. You have a big fragment of his community.
Wait, can we pause it real quick?
How could you not?
This is the problem. This is the problem. So I'll give you an example. He is also Ruslan, and he does this all the time because he's a conspiracy theorist himself. He is misrepresenting it right now. Like, for instance, he said Trump crashing out on MAGA. He's not crashing out on MAGA. He said something rude about MAGA. He's not crashing out. Crashing out would be if he was in front of a camera.
Right.
Saying, you little pissant motherfuckers. I don't need any one of you. I will ascend to be the emperor even without any of you. You homesteaders, you Christians. You know, all that crashing out. All he said some rude shit in a tweet. Right? So Ruslan 4 clicks is lighting the fire.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Right.
Here's the thing. I know there's going to be a day when Trump really steps in it, and everyone in our chat and you are going to be mocking the shit out of me, and I would do it too. I would do it if it was you too. So, I look forward to it, guys. All my argument is that today is not that day.
All right. So no inconsistencies hinted at here for you. You're sticking with it like, hey, it's naive for people to think that you were going to get this information, all that stuff, right?
I definitely think that. I mean, do you think that?
Here's what I think. I'm glad you asked. I think that if there was something extremely damning about Trump, it would have been released already. I cannot wrap my head around the fact that it hasn't been released, other than it has to be so damning about him, but so damning about someone else that it could cripple the entire infrastructure of not only America, but potentially our allies as well. Let's not forget that a whole prince got into trouble behind this thing, right? Let's not forget that part. So who knows? And we all have a good idea of the type of people that would have been congregating at this place. That's what I think. Mutual assured destruction. And the Dems, if they had it, would not have had any issue releasing it if it didn't harm anyone they know. But it has to be so bad, if it exists, which I do believe it exists, that they're like, we cannot do this. We cannot cripple the world, because that's something that people take for granted, man. Like, I hate and doubt a lot of our world leaders, but unfortunately, we're so helplessly dependent upon these few people who don't really do anything. It's all their subordinates and middle management, that if these people are indicted for anything, the entire thing could come crashing down. That's what I think. I think that Trump is the type of person to capitalize on the zeitgeist of a movement, right? A different disenfranchised movement that has been bubbling up in America for many years. And he was the guy that tapped into it. Now, I also think that he's the guy that can shoot himself in the foot, but he ran on basically the dark version of Obama's change policy, right? Change, drain the swamp, same messaging, right? And he's reaching those same people, because Ruslan's going to go on to make a point here in a second, which is that it wasn't the extreme hardcore MAGA base that got him elected. It was the people who slowly came over to that side because they were disenfranchised by what they were seeing in the world, socially, politically, economically. I think that Trump, as I said before, and I was wrong before when I said this, because he proved me, the voters proved me wrong. All he has to do is coast into history winning, right? Winning on the social issues that his base elected him for. And that's it. Even if no one ever comes back, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, they're just talking heads, right? They don't have any real sway over what happens in the world. If he continues to address the social issues that people put him in there for, doesn't matter if the Epstein files ever come out, because people are going to start leaning on their interest more. They're going to be like, hey, this is the guy that cleaned up certain aspects of the school system. This is the guy that cleaned up certain aspects of social systems. And that's what I voted for him for. And I picked him because he got it done. He did horrible stuff to get it done, but I voted my interest. That's what I think, brother. I think people are going to look to their interest, and I do agree with you. This will quiet down if he keeps winning. Now, if he starts backpedaling on social issues and tries to strong arm his base, they are probably going to march up to the Capitol and do to him what he wanted them to do to Biden.
No, you're right. No, you are right. Basically, he needs to fix, these expensive eggs. I know everyone's like they're back down to normal. No, they're not. They're still a little pricey, in my opinion.
Well, they're a good price at Sam's Club. If you're willing to buy 24 eggs that claim to be grown,
I am.
I need my eggs. I need
eggs. I eat like 7 at a time. So,
but you understand what I'm saying? Like, to surmise my entire point, all Trump has to do is keep winning on the social issues for his base, and that's it. He coasts. Like, what's going to happen next? He's out of office, man. It's too late. This is the worst case scenario for liberals and progressives because he's in and he can't legally be reelected. All they can hope is that people don't start to shift towards Vance for a potential run or whoever's going to take over the MAGA.
And so, I actually need to take a moment to be like a patriot right now, and I need to address the, third, basically the third term that he keeps threatening people with. And stuff right?
Right.
So what I love is, your average, your quintessential libtard is like, look at him. He's speaking like a tyrant. This is evil. This is bad. Blah, 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 blah. No, what he is speaking. Well, one, he's joking and he's trolling everyone. Right. But even if he's not, he is not speaking anti-democratically. He's actually.
Mantis. Wait, say it again. You clicked out for a second. And we'll just wait for Mantis to come back. Got 7 people in the chat. I appreciate y'all for always coming through and showing us support. Here comes the brother. He'll be back in 1 second. The Greta girls. It's interesting that someone would be brave enough to actually sail their boat into enemy waters where there are pirates, where that's a thing you have to worry about, and not think something's going to happen to them. You know what I'm saying? Sail to Palestine thinking nothing was going to happen to him. But while we're waiting for he's not the legitimate leader, Borat. Hey, I meant to ask you, Izzy, how did you enjoy Borat as Mephisto? I think you were here for that stream. I want to say you enjoyed that. I thought it was the best acting I've ever seen him do. And it's a short list of stuff. Never was really big into the Ali G movement, didn't get it. A lot of people loved it. I did not. But I did enjoy him as Mephisto. And then in regards to this topic here, are there any other Trump supporters? Or did you support Trump for some social issue? Do you care that the Epstein files aren't being released? That is the more pertinent question. Does anyone here care that the Epstein files are not being released? Hey, buddy.
I just had the craziest experience.
What was that?
So I clocked out, like I clipped out, but then I came back and I was right next to you on live with you, and you just kept talking like I wasn't there, and you're talking to the chat, and you're like, we're still waiting for Mantis to come back, and I was like there, and I was like, dude, and I was like a ghost Mantis that you just couldn't see, and it's a nightmare.
Well, again, I keep trying to tell you, you are a figment of my imagination. People have accepted that I'm crazy, and I've been talking to an empty bubble this entire time.
I am your Tyler Durden, so that's what makes this podcast interesting,
right? So let me. I mean, we know what's going to happen, right? Do you think Vance will be?
Wait, real quick. Let me just finish my thought on the third thing. So, if for him to have a third term, they would need like 2/3 of the Senate and the Congress, right? And then they would also need every state to vote, and 2/3 of the states would have to all put it to a vote and decide to change the Constitution. That takes a lot. That takes a shitload. So if he actually gets that done, he's not a tyrant. He's giving the people what they want, and they're using democracy the way it's supposed to be.
Oh, okay. Now it's getting spicy. Man, just making a way for Trump to change the law and become to pull a Bloomberg on us. That was some of the best apologetic work I've
Yeah,
ever
no,
seen.
I mean it is legit. It is legit. It is super democratic to have the Constitution changed, because you think of the times we changed the Constitution, right? To
Right,
free
okay.
slaves, to let women vote.
Oh, look at what you tied that to, freeing of slaves.
Yo, just like the gays, I'm going to tie it to the black struggle, because that's how you win an argument.
Oh my goodness. That is good, man.
This is our civil rights, guys. This is our civil rights.
That's really good, man. He's like, I know exactly what that attaches to, civil rights. Hey, you still think Pearl is attractive?
I saw the clip. I looked over the clip you sent me, and she is so disgusting. She is disgusting both in thought and in visual. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, of course I want to talk about it. Unfortunately, it won't let me share. Oh, there we go. Bam. Share screen, window, Pearl. All right. So I know that this is going to be our closing situation for the evening, right? Can you see? Oh, you just got to add it there, big guy. I know this is going to be our closing topic for the evening. Candace Owens had Nick Fuentes on her podcast after a long back and forth, the Groyper movement. Nick Fuentes, Mr. America First, Nick Fuentes, who has a gaggle of colored people who support him, which is hilarious to me. And
that is wild. That dude is on some other shit.
Only reason I'm not bringing up this young lady's name is because I'm not going to hate on her thing, man. She believes some of the things she says, but there's a young lady that streams his basically does lives about his content and how she agrees with him, or when he basically roasts someone. But it blows my mind. This is Nick Fuentes that is making the social argument that blacks are inferior to white people based on education and nature. This is Nick Fuentes, who went in front of Candace Owens and basically kind of owned her on her own podcast.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, Candace, stood her ground 10 toes down, but at certain points, Nick basically told her at one point, he's like, I'm not going to take a lecture with you about relationships and how I should live my life. You don't know me, and I'm not going to take this lecture from a woman. And I was like, uh-oh. Because that's the logical conclusion for Candace's worldview, right? She's writing a book. She's about to release a book that is named, for God's sake, Make Him a Sandwich. You have to know that someone's going to call you on this eventually, right? You have to know that someone's going to say, Candace, what gives you the right as a career woman whose husband is worth $150 million to be talking on issues that you're not living? Why are you still in this fight? You should be home raising your 4 kids. And that's an argument that she has not adequately answered, right? You're telling women to shut up and make a sandwich for their man, but
this is the common problem with the trad wife argument, because all the trad wife YouTubers, if you look at their bios, before they were married, they wrote books, and they're successful either YouTubers or in some sort of creation space, and so they're the opposite of trad.
Yeah.
Yet they're the ones making the argument for trad. And so I'm saying, how is a woman? I remember I used to love this one, Brittany, I forget her last name. And her argument is, and she's a really sweet woman. Like she would do like YouTube's, like, people are making fun of this woman because a woman makes her man a sandwich or makes his lunch every day.
Right.
And she'd be like, she just loves her husband. What's wrong with that? And I used to applaud her for that. This woman has written multiple books. There's nothing trad about her. You know what I mean? She's cashing in on trad.
Yeah. Everything's a marketing plan, man. Anything can be used as a marketing plan. By the way, Shannon Sharp, I don't know if you can see that little headline there, settles grape lawsuit with 20-year-old. So they settled out of court, which is interesting because can you put a number on being victimized? Yes, apparently you can. And it's somewhere
exactly right. And so
here we go.
Where do they get off lecturing men like this? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you've been married for so long and you think it's appropriate to talk to a guy that way. I don't get it. Now, I want to say, Candace Owens, if I get copyrighted for this, I was told by Candace on Twitter, right?
You know that Pearl identifies herself as a 5. Like someone asked her how would she rate herself. She's like, I'm a 5.
That's accurate. I'd say 4 or 5. Yeah. We're talking about the 20 scale, right?
Yeah.
That we are able to react to clips. That's what it says on her Twitter. Her Twitter says you cannot react to the full interview, but you can react to clips.
She's low energy. She's bitter. She's gross. She's dressed gross.
She is like that one very opinionated, angry woman at your job where you're like, oh man, don't get Dolores from HR going. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking A, man.
But I have to say, she has glowed up a bit because when she was younger, she was like, terrifying.
I don't know. I liked her when she was younger. You maybe just like young girls. Oh wait, that came out wrong. I don't. I think right now she looks horrible.
I'm not going to be able to take it. I can't take the nagging.
She doesn't have any energy right now. What's happening? She's like,
his husband is worth $150 million. So there's no reason for her to be out here and putting her kids' safety at risk.
I'm telling you, she is that aunt. She's that lady from HR. I'm like, you're always like, is she drunk?
Right.
I
think she's on some sort of pill. Probably is Annie.
There's no reason for her not to be home with her kids. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying I really love it, but all I'm saying is she is not doing what she is selling. And so I saw a tweet. I'm actually going to pull it up on my phone.
Yo, and this woman makes so much money. That is the crime. That is the hate crime of the century.
I just saw this. I just thought it was such a good tweet.
She doesn't know where her thing is. She doesn't know what she's not prepared.
Tradwife influencers are business women selling a lifestyle, families, and marriage they don't possess. And that's how I would describe it.
That's a good point.
All right. So, where are we going?
This is really weird. It's like you can't even follow what she's saying. So we're just judging her as being bad host.
Let me pull this up.
Izzy says she on whatever Kodak be doing. Well, she forgot to put her headphones on.
You can't get them on. Oh my God, is she on drugs?
Do I bet you anything. Not really. I mean, she scares me a little bit.
I bet you in years we're gonna find out that she had a drug problem.
And I don't.
Oh, 100%.
She's gonna look back on it. She's gonna go through rehab. She's gonna be like, "Yeah, those years I was making videos, I was on a lot of drugs."
You know what the crazy thing? This is a live stream, and I'm sure there are tons of people that were in this live stream. By the way, man. Oh, you got your chat back.
Yes, I did.
I don't know if she's like this or not. I don't know her personally. But they tend to weaponize their audience in disagreements. They tend to make everything private public. They don't really see the need for discretion. All right, so 155.
Candace was copyright striking people too for
all right,
commenting on the live. But
so this is where she starts nagging him and then gets triggered.
To me at all, it's almost as if we're not related. It's almost as if I never existed. And there's something very disturbing to me about that. And I can understand why people are okay with that. Because people have various feelings about race. They say, I don't care about my race.
Hold on, I'm skipping that.
Yeah, well, we've been on this. We've done this before.
All right, let's keep going.
We forgot what part of the video it is.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Why you're allowed to be you and I'm allowed to be me.
Mm-hmm.
A question that I would ask you then is what is your dating life?
I don't have a dating life.
So you don't date?
No.
You have a perspective about who you want to marry? Do you intend to get married?
I do intend to get married and have kids.
So where are you at on that?
I'm trying to get prepared for that mentally.
What does that mean? You're 26 years old.
I like my life. I like being single. I like being a guy. I like what I like.
So this is where Candace usually thrives in this type of argumentation, this type of questioning, and it worked extremely well against a degenerate like Destiny. But Destiny celebrates being a degenerate, right? You think he was really bothered by Candace saying, "Bro, grow up"? He's like, "I'm a millionaire. I don't ever have to grow up."
Oh God. But yeah, she's about to tear. I want her to see her tear Nick Fuentes apart because I hate him so much.
I like reading books. I like doing my show. I'm a pretty antisocial person, and it's a big adjustment for a man to go from having a life where you can do whatever you want, go wherever you want, unaccountable, everything like that, to then you have to be roommates with women and children. It's a totally different lifestyle. And for someone like myself, I'm a pretty eccentric and kind of out there person. I don't have a regular sleep schedule. I'm awake all night. I'm asleep all day. And my sleep schedule's moving around all the time. I like to go out on drives all the time. The idea of my wife sending me out the door, okay, be home by 10, call me and tell me where you're going. Or, I go on a trip. I got to get the car seats and buy all the plane tickets and stuff like that. It's kind of cramping my style.
And this is something, women are not competing with other women. They're competing with men's peace. And that's what he's saying. And this is how a lot of Gen Z guys feel.
She said something wise. Even a broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Right. You're competing with the idea of being able to be, and because in retrospect, you look at certain things, you're like, But women would say the same thing. I think it's just that men are probably now saying this out loud more than we've ever heard any man say it out loud before. These type of things were begrudgingly like the Al Bundy talking points. Remember when we were growing up? It was like, guys, we just take this shit to the grave, bro. Like literally, they would just. Why'd your dad keel over and died? Because he would never say anything like, "I'm trying to protect my peace." He would just drop dead in the living room.
It's such a horrible argument. His argument, women making this argument. The other day, I met a woman who also had similar feelings. Her argument was like, "I never want to have kids," and I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "It would take cramp my style."
Right,
wouldn't be able to do it. And it's just like, it is crazy how privileged and how great they have it. And it's stupid and it's idiotic. And I don't know what to say to someone who's too stupid to procreate.
And you know what? He is going to go on to make it, and that's a great point. He is going to go on to make a valid point of why he doesn't want to do that is because of how dangerous the lifestyle he lives, because of what he does. There are repercussions. He can't get a bank account. He doesn't get paid for streaming. He's deplatformed everywhere.
Okay, wait, hold on. But I hear what you're saying. That's a rough life. However, if he truly believes in what he believes, and he believes America should be like that, he should procreate and hand that knowledge and that belief down to his kids.
You know what's crazy? That's the way it used to be with racism and other ideals.
Yes, exactly.
But now when you can speak into a microphone and broadcast your message to millions of people who are adopting your idea because they have some inner working that makes them feel like the things you're saying are truth, why procreate? But also, Nick Fuentes is one bad decision. I'm going to use a Kevin Samuels statement that he used on B. Simone, who is now living the truth that Kevin Samuels dropped on her. Once upon a time, Kevin Samuels said, B. Simone, you are one bad take away from being back and working in a fast food place or working on Ross. And now we see B. Simone is complaining about having to shop at H&M when there are people who wish they could shop at H&M. But I digress. Nick Fuentes is, like Trump, one bad move away from his base turning on him. What he doesn't understand, right? And this is coming from a black man, so I hope he appreciates this, Nick. I'm giving you free advice. With your type of movements, the type of polarizing movement that you've galvanized, you have no one loyal to you. You're the vehicle in which their ideas are spread. And the minute that you break down or don't carry that message adequately, for all of them, let's generalize, you're out. That's it. You're done. That's the difference between internet movements versus real movements, right? You are out. You serve no purpose to Aryans who are on the ground level, like the Aryan Brotherhood, because you're a weak man. You're a puppet. They
And
don't
so-
see you. Let me cook for a second. They don't see you being able to really participate in a race war because they wouldn't trust you to pick up an axe. They wouldn't trust you with a weapon. You're a physically weak man. And when all of the societal things that you're asking for come to play, when all the blacks are gone, when all the browns are gone, when all the gays are gone, when all the trans are gone, you know what happens next when this utopic Nordic world that you're all seeking comes to be? The same thing that happened when the Nordics were in their own country together. Then they start turning on each other.
Right.
And the weak get purged. And you are weak and you're wanting. And no political argument is going to change that because that's at the root of human nature. Any of your Groyper fanboys or fangirls will never be able to stand this contest. If Nick gets his way, eventually he's going to have to deal with real Aryans, real race purists. And you are not the type of racial being they want making children. You are the exact opposite thing that Hitler wanted, to be procreating. You're a weak man.
And you know there were rumors that he's on the DL.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. But also, like here's the thing, right? In a society where dog eats dog, right? Your best laid political argument, no matter how well articulated, Mantis, I know the truth of the world. Nick, you had to mace a woman at your doorstep who came.
He was scared of some woman. Yeah, exactly. What?
You wear suits that are made for men. You are not a man. You're a 26-year-old with a mic that's being used by a base that needs you right now. You can say whatever you want about my intellect, but I'm right. And you know I'm right. And that's why you guys that are put in front of the microphone are so disposable. Because you're bitches. And bitches get paraded out first.
And bitches get stitches. Right?
It's an eloquent argument. I would love to see someone refute it. I love seeing that all these guys are now kind of like, he is the wrecking ball coming after the Charlie Kirks and all these people. And I don't have a problem with conservatism. You know I don't. I'm not conservative, though, because of a political ideology. I'm conservative because of my religious beliefs. Nick is the worst Catholic I've ever seen.
Right.
But continue, my brother. That was my call.
No, I agree. No, I think you did. I think you were really good on that one.
Let's see.
It's not that a lot of them are sexless, right? A lot of them, it's not that they have another choice of a woman to date if someone comes in, but you're competing with silence. And women that don't understand men have no idea how much energy they spend, and they don't appreciate how much energy they spend just being around us and listening to our problems. They don't get it. They don't understand it. And there's no gratitude for it. And in fact, they tend to feel entitled for it, entitled to it.
So I'm trying to get over that, I guess, but that's maturing.
Yeah, I think you should probably mature on that point. I mean, what?
Yeah.
And this is so hypocritical, right? Because remember, Candace Owens, she had from 16 to 30, she had freedom to date whoever. She hasn't been doing the trad thing for that long, or the trad, right? And she's given up nothing. And women give up nothing to be in relationships. Nothing. She's given up nothing. She didn't move to her husband. Her husband moved to her. She didn't have to work for the commitment, right? And that's how you can tell the guy is in her frame, right? He's moving to her.
Right.
She doesn't die back. In fact, it's actually crazy. When she got a family, she goes further into political stuff. It's like she said, now that I have kids, let me get more death threats.
That's funny.
Death threats at my husband and children's expense.
You got to tell me. I know.
I want to go for drives. Like that would be something. I mean,
Yeah, but folks, go check it out. But it goes deeper, and that's when Nick makes that point. But Candace, by a lot of people's account, quote unquote, got cooked in this. Actually, what happened was the type of worldview that she has, it's going to, when it rubs up against Nick, who's the Ready Player One in this situation, right? If you get the reference, you get the reference. It's not going to work against him because he is the conclusion of your viewpoints. Candace has some very extreme separatist views that win over certain people to her, but then ultimately Nick looks her right in her face and tells her why he thinks mixed marriages are wrong. And she doesn't have a strong argument back against it because you lean too heavily in his view, right? Just like when he cooked this black conservative and he told him, he was like, you're here to make white conservatives feel less racist. That's the only thing you have a platform, right? And even though you and I both know that's an asinine point, but there's truth to it. And that's why it's hard for you to respond to it, you know? And that's what Candace didn't understand going into this. And Pearl understands where she's at in the world. She calls herself a 5. She gets her pecking order in this conservative little bubble they live in. So that's that, my brother. That is that. Did you have fun tonight?
I did. I'm sorry if any of my energies were off, man. Is this blasted internet?
Yeah, man. It's been a long day. We fight a good fight. We fight a good fight all the time, man.
Well, we have to have a warrior spirit.
It's true. And remember,
trudge along, man, and trudge along.
And remember, folks, you're always one step away from your base turning on. You better be able to throw hands.
Yes, I know Steve. Steve is ready. He's already has the episodes written for when people turn on Trump, and he can't wait. He can't wait for the next, I guess it'll be January 12th.
I'm terrified of that shit because it's like, I know what happens when people get pulled in. I don't even want to call it a cult of personality. Like this guy, he did something amazing. We'll probably never see anything like this again. How he galvanized people. He's just got to sail off into the sunset winning, bro. But if I ever get this successful, please tap me on the shoulder like, hey, idiot, you just got to sail off into winning.
Do you think that this is the ultimate scam? And like at the end, like toward the end of his presidency, he's going to, like you said, sail away. Like he's going to like, him and his mistress are going to like get on a plane and he's going to have all of the United States money in it. Fly away.
I'm going to call it right now, man. I think he might go down in history as the most influential and impactful president, however you view that in
the
history.
21st century, definitely.
Like I'm saying, like in recorded history at this point, like what has happened, what continues to happen, the wins, the losses, like he will be remembered, and people were going to have to come to terms with that because he understood what his base wanted. He understood what you and I wanted, right? There were social issues. I'm not a Trump supporter, but there were social issues that I wanted, and he did it. So boom. W. RizRadio.com. Sunday nights, Tuesday nights. Mic check. Turning on your favorite hip hop artist. Actually, we got a topic we have to talk about on Mic Check. Drake, in a desperate attempt to reclaim a W from the worst banishing in hip hop history, has now started a beef that's needed to happen for a long time. Black Brits versus American blacks.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Drake said that American rappers have nothing on British rappers, and now it's popping off.
Drake said it?
Yeah, he said it. And you know why he said it? Because that's what they call in prison a PC move. I lost, so now let me get these fools mixed in it.
right, because he's a Canadian who moved to America and pretended to be American just to have a career.
Right.
I mean, I can't even get started with that guy. But you can always find our replays of this episode and many others every weekday night on Riz Radio. Catch us on RizRadio.com, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. for those recaps. Plus, you can catch me, the Fat Mantis, on Burn Your Degrees, Saturday and Sunday, 6 to 10 p.m. On Sunday, I'm right before Mic Check. So please check us out with the double feature. We're in it to win it. Other than that, I had an amazing time. I hope you did. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Keep tuning in to Fanboy Modeling School. Until next time, ciao for now, bitches.
Peace.
Bye.